Hello, Stab Hunter here, back for another episode of In Depth. I just got back from winning my court case of stabbing a homosexual with a shiny. I won the case based on the fact that at a certain period of time a Supreme Court decision decided that my crime was not valid as murder with the provided evidence under the United States statute in the state of Rhode Island in 1997, so I was let go. You see, this inept system was designed for 13 million people in the 18th century, but 200 plus years later you have 300 million people. These dimewits are using an archaic system of a Supreme Court with 9 judges for life and making decisions for 300 million people as the final say. It's insanity. The United States government is a delusional lie perpetrated by aristocrats manipulating a brainwashed mass of idiots that you're preaching to in schools. It's unreal. It's not real people, it's a cruel joke. But the discussion today is Negro manipulation. What causes the disconnect between some Nignog males and their shiboon?
Alright, well here's the deal. You see, a lot of nigwads, regardless of gender, are undesirable. And it's not because of their oleaginous skin, their wide noses, or splay feet. No. It's not because of their kinky hair, the prognathism. Not at all. No, it isn't even because of the raw bacon and crayon smell that blacks have. It's because of the attitude. Yes, some people are racist and they abhor nigwads, but who gives a crap? This isn't the 1900s. You won't get lynched for retorting a racist. But segregating yourselves and acting awkward when around other races isn't going to help you get anywhere. And running after non-blacks to make up for your own inadequacies while openly disrespecting your own kind to try and win their approval or make some stupid social statement just makes you look like an insecure loser. Hell, but that can go to Asian and white couples too, because I see you guys doing the same crap. And what kills me is the emasculation amongst nigwad males and the dysfunctional interpretation of female rights that the jackamammies have. Men and women aren't equal, but as humans they deserve equal rights, and it should be left at that while we try to hammer out the legal and discriminatory situations that favor one sex over the other. That's my take on that.
What do you mean by men and women not being equal?
Well, men and women serve different functions in society. They aren't the same. They don't think nor do they act the same. They don't look at each other the same way, and they don't expect things out of each other they expect from people of the same gender when it comes to relationships. This is why if a man acts like a woman and does something, a woman would normally do, like some passive-aggressive nonsense, he'll be called a bitch and disrespected. And if a woman tries to act aggressive and firm like a man, she'll be considered a bitch and not taken seriously, especially if it isn't warranted and we know that she's compensating. It's about playing your position. That's what I think a lot of people are confused about at this point, which causes so many of these problems.
Interesting. Why do men take such subservient stances when dealing with women?
Oh, hell. That's one of the biggest damn problems right there. A lot of men are so inept that instead of challenging a woman, they try to adapt to her childish behavior. In a relationship, women need to be handled like children. They should be consorts if qualified, which you'll find out while dating them, but you need to know what to say to them and mean it. Not kiss their ass or try to piss them off like some passive-aggressive little homo. Doesn't help anything, it just makes them act even worse.
Why do Negroes buy into dichotomies like niggers versus black people? What are they trying to accomplish with this? To me it seems like these divisive tactics aren't helping the nignogs they claim to want to liberate.
There's a deal with that. These jackasses, they aren't trying to create a paradigm for nigwads to develop themselves economically, which leads to social development, by the way. All they're saying is that they went to school and somehow they should be respected for that, which is far from the truth. Based on the fact that it's normal to go to college, get a degree and a good job, hoping to ensure that you don't end up living check to check. These jack-a-dandies are bringing it up to lead by example. It's really to show how much better they are compared to other blacks, and to show why they should respect that you're better than them. That's all that is.
Well, since they took the time to educate themselves and better their own lives, shouldn't they be respected as leaders who can use their knowledge to help the Negro community?
In theory, sure. But in this case, hell no. For what? The fact is that the reason why they don't respect these ass clowns as leaders, or hell, even as men, is because they're socially inept fuckwits. No nigwad will respect them because they don't like nigwads. They constantly try to distance themselves from them with these idiotic contrasts. That tells other nignogs they aren't liked. If you don't like them, and you try to prove how different you are, then you can't relate. Not being able to relate means they won't find you interesting, and the broads won't like you because you aren't interesting. That means you're no fun. And if you're no fun, then no one wants to be around you. And if this is the case, you're certainly not going to be followed. So no one will heed your leadership, making you some worthless nigga with a degree, trying to make women respect you while ignoring the process like the dysfunctional fucktard you are. Hell, even if you have good ideas, which it seems no one out here has, you won't be effective. All you're gonna do is blame it on feminism, white men, or Jews, all of which, and the media, all of which have their aspect of blame, but blame ain't helping you in your causes, jack and dandies. Especially when your answer is just to rehash Monkey Lucifer Coon's bullshit, 1960s militancy, and then douchebag W.E.B. Du Bois' pre-communist manifesto before he switched after the Jews turned on his silly mulatto ass and ran him off to Africa. All of these things are proven to be ineffective, as we now see.
But isn't feminism just a concept of female rights? Why blame feminism?
Who's blaming feminism? The fact is that feminism's ill effects come from the common man's lack of masculinity. I'll say this though, the powers that be want a docile population. And women are docile by nature, not to mention easier to control. So if you can get the men to behave like them, it makes things a lot easier. And they know this, that's why they promote it. And on top of this, women respect men who can make them docile. Some men have forsaken their own manhood to appease the women at the expense of their own dignity, to which said women lose respect for them. That's why these types of problems persist amongst the genders. And these jack-a-dandies kiss ass to try and woo females by being servile man bitches because they're afraid of their own masculinity that's been demonized subtly in the media and whatnot. They get upset at men who have confidence and utilize their adept social skills to get what they want from women, regardless of what it is, because these men know that women's egos are huge. Like a giant glass house under a brittle cliff. They want their expectations met by men, which usually means not kissing their ass.